Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 doesn't hold your hand in the slightest. Life in the medieval era was nasty, brutish and short, and even though Henry is the main character, life is no easier for him. This Dummy's Guide assumes no prior knowledge of Kingdom Come Deliverance, so, with that disclaimer out the way, let us begin. Audentes, Fortuna, Iuvat. One of the things about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 that isn't strictly realistic is that Henry can freely change between 3 outfits without an armoire, tent, or strategically placed bush nearby. These 3 outfits are crucial to surviving in Bohemia, as although being armoured to the teeth might help when you have some lad with a sword coming at you head first, that outfit isn't going to impress a merchant very much. Each of your 3 outfits should focus on maximising a stat of your choice, so one for melee combat, one for ranged combat, one for stealthing, and one to boost your charisma. I know that's 4 broad archetypes, so just pick whichever fits your playstyle best. Henry is able to Wonder Woman his way into these outfits in a fraction of a second by cycling through them in the game menu, and I encourage you to make sure you're outfitted correctly at the threshold of shops, when you're about to start travelling, surprise combat encounters can be a bitch, and when you're planning to steal or sneak, as well as when you're about to talk to an NPC. Look at the stats on the bottom right to see the sum qualities of each outfit. Allow me to explain what each of these icons mean. Top left is your stab defense, how protected you are against piercing weapons like daggers. Middle is your slash defense, how protected you are against slashing weapons like swords and axes. And finally, the top right is your blunt defense, how protected you are against blunt weapons like maces and clubs. The icons along the left-hand side are, in descending order, your head, body, arms, and legs. The icons are the same for your weapon stats, but mean slightly different things. Top left is a weapon's stab damage, middle is a weapon's slash damage, and the top right is a weapon's blunt damage. Weapons can be equipped in multiple slots to pair with multiple defense or ammunition options. You will need a belt equipped first to have 4 weapon slots though. Noise and visibility are pretty self-explanatory. Clunking armour will create more noise, and the amount of coverage of your face will affect how visible you are, / how well you blend into the background. Conspicuousness is an interesting stat. It ascends in line with how garish or unusual your outfit is. Just like in real life, people will take more notice of you if you're dressed very bloodily or, equally, very flashily, which affects your ability to sneak. Conspicuousness is a jester icon for a reason. For the best stealth build, you want conspicuousness, noise, and visibility to be as low as possible. Your armour and clothes affect your charisma. Fancier armour / clothes equals higher charisma, as people will be more impressed by your mere presence. Speech and charisma are 2 qualities which sound similar but are not. Like coercion, domination, might and dread, they are different ways to convince people to do what you want. Speech is trying to handle a situation peacefully, whereas charisma has you using your noble appearance and good reputation to get what you want. Basically, speech is persuasion in a D&D sense, and charisma is, look how fancy I'm dressed. Waiting has a cost in Kingdom Come Deliverance too. Not in a monetary sense, but while you're waiting, or sleeping, you'll lose hunger and nutrition as your body digests whatever's in your stomach. Keep food in your pouch at all times, nutritious food if you can. Bread, for example, is fully nutritious at 100%, but only provides 19 nourishment, as it's not very filling by itself. Fast travel is a godsend in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, especially in the hours before you get Pebbles, your horse, back. You can only fast travel to places once you discover them, and you can tell if you can fast travel there because a prompt will pop up at the bottom of the map. Then the little model of Henry will move across the map. There's no instant travel here. Be wary, as during this time you may run into a random encounter. These can be combat encounters as well as charisma encounters, so prepare to either run or fight. Remember what I said before, it's a good idea to equip yourself in some melee suitable armour before fast travelling, just in case you find yourself face to face with some ruffians. Right, saving in Kingdom Come Deliverance doesn't work like in other games. There are 4 ways the game will save. When you sleep, when you drink a Saviour Schnapps potion at specific checkpoints in quests, and when you quit the game. If you don't have a bed or a bottle of saviour schnapps, you cannot save. Saving and quitting the game is a cheese for saving your progress, though it really does depend on how often you remember to do so, as there are no autosaves aside from quest milestones. And how patient you are, as rebooting the game will take as long as it takes depending on your PC or console. You can brew saviour schnapps yourself using nettles and belladonna. Nettles are a very common ingredient found near the edges of woods and on riverbeds. Belladonna, however, is a lot harder to come by out in the wild. This pupil-dilating beauty elixir of old is green with tiny purple buds, and tends to blend into the generic bushes of the game a little bit too easily, so you will have to keep your eyes peeled for this one. Belladonna can also be purchased from the apothecary for a reasonable price, and is definitely worth investing in early in the game if you have the groschen. Alchemy is the skill that'll help you brew your saviour schnapps, and it's easy to level up fast and therefore give you access to better alchemy perks as quickly as possible. Just picking herbs can get you multiple alchemy levels in a short amount of time, and if you're struggling for groschen at the beginning of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, brew some chamomile potions and sell them to merchants for some quick cash. Once you see the Secret of Equilibrium perk available, grab it. This means that your brewing is more forgiving to minor mistakes you make, meaning higher quality potions that can be sold for more money. This is going to sound dumb, but just hear me out. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2's lack of hand-holding means that it doesn't really force you to do the first major quest you get given about crashing a wedding. But please don't do what I did and start exploring without completing the first stage. It'll have you choosing to go to a miller or a blacksmith to ask for their help in getting into the wedding, but rest assured, you can do both. Both paths are a tutorial. The blacksmith will teach you how to forge, and once you've done the first bit of the quest, you'll get yourself a bed and a chest. And as sleeping is one of the ways to save the game, this is invaluable. The Miller's questline trains you in pickpocketing, sneaking, and lockpicking, and gets you free lockpicks. Again, love it, indispensable. Go see Tomcat as quickly as you can too, as training with him will unlock advanced combat. All of these 3 quests look like they're far away on the map, but they're not actually too bad and are definitely worth the minor trek. Stealing is a high-risk, medium-reward in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. People will realise their stuff is missing, and guards will be able to tell that you've been stealing stuff, especially if you're dumb enough to equip the item you stole when you're right next to its rightful owners. If you need to steal, food is the lowest risk. Fully stocked food market stalls are unmanned at night, making them easy to steal from if you're desperate for nutrition, energy, or nourishment. Just don't do anything stupid like having your torch equipped when you're trying to get that 5-finger discount. Keep a notebook handy to write down what NPCs tell you. Their remarks won't always lead to a side quest, but that doesn't mean that nothing will come out of what they're saying. Conversations you overhear are very similar, and they'll often give clues about things you should check out in the world. Don't rely on map markers miraculously appearing to direct you to cool stuff on the map. When you travel on paths and roads as opposed to going off track into forests and across fields, be cautious. Ambushes are always a risk on the main roads, especially when they have bushes or forests hemming them in. Keep an eye peeled, as you can usually see people waiting behind trees, especially if you have a higher vantage point from the back of your horse. Speaking of, be prepared for your horse to buck and rear you off if the ruffians get close enough, because unless it has a particularly high courage stat, it's going to freak out when things making loud noises come closely and happen to be holding sharp implements. Piss off too many people and your reputation may eventually find itself in the gutter. While you can eat humble pie and slowly get your rep up again, there is a spiritual shortcut. Visit a priest and undertake a pilgrimage to restore some of your reputation. This will have notable benefits for Henry, because clearly local farmers, gamekeepers and such are awed at and invested in Henry's spiritual dedication. People who show religious contrition can't have anything bad they've done in the past held against them, of course. Sarcasm. It's harder for NPCs to spot you in your fully rendered, pore-laden skin detail from afar, so even if someone sees you in the distance and you're trespassing/stealing, you're not doomed. Use the time it takes for them to get to you to hide. The AI isn't a heat-seeking missile, so the NPCs won't lock onto you. Speaking of stealth and being dodgy, go to the homestead south of Troskovitz and look in the barn to find a dagger and lockpicks. You need a dagger for stealth kills, so if you want to get rid of people nice and quietly, you're going to need one. As well as eating from stew pots bubbling over an open fire, you can poison them. This is a very, very useful way to take out large groups of people when you're early in the game, physically outmatched, or just want to be devious. At lower levels in particular, I don't recommend taking on more than one enemy at a time with a melee weapon, so just poison them instead. Find yourself a stew pot, watch from afar and learn their routines, dip in, poison, hide, and then just wait. If you can, it's also a good idea to hide any bodies, so it takes longer for your foes to notice someone is missing. Go get your animals back. Henry lost his horse Pebbles and his dog Mutt in the bandit raid, and you can get them back as soon as you find yourself out of the stocks. The easier of the two to get is your horse. Trek to Samin, southwest of Troskowitz, and talk to the horse merchant to get Pebbles back, who Henry will recognise from afar. Asking him to be reasonable is the best way to be reunited with Pebbles. Pebbles is a bit of a diva, slay, and will rear when any danger comes nearby, but if you bear that in mind during your travels across Bohemia, then having a horse to canter across the land with is a hell of a lot easier than doing it on foot, not only because you won't have to be carrying 2 coconut halves. Reuniting with Mutt is more of a mission, quite literally. You'll have to get through a multi-part quest to get him back, but he is absolutely worth it. Mutt is no mere companion. He can help you find things and save your ass in combat. Make sure you maintain a good relationship with Pebbles and Mutt, otherwise they'll desert you, as they should. Stamina in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 determines what you can do, jumping, sprinting, attacking, etc., and also, crucially, whether you take damage. Enemies have to grind down your stamina first before they can start to damage your health, so you can think of stamina as something like a shield. Block and put some distance between you and your foe to regen your stamina, but pay attention to how strong your enemy appears. The stamina you lose on a successful block costs the strength of the blocked attack, meaning that if some big f*** with a mace is swinging at you and you successfully block the attack, you are still going to lose a chunk of stamina. You do not need to purchase a recipe in order to unlock the ability to brew a specific potion, so you can look recipes up online. Or flick through your herbarium to see the qualities of known ingredients and try combining some, but the method you use to combine them is just as important and therefore tricky to finesse and guess. Food poisoning is no joke. You continually lose strength, agility, vitality, and health for the entire duration that you're poisoned, which will cause you to become over-encumbered, causing you to move slowly, and if you run into any ruffians when you're over-encumbered, then my condolences. While over-encumbered, you also can't get on a horse or fast travel, leaving you completely stranded. Simply grab a vial and pour. And that is my Dummy's Guide to Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Do you have any other pointers that'll help out those playing Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 for the very first time? Feel free to let me know in the comments below. If you not even liked but barely tolerated this video, then feel free to chuck it a like and subscribe to Eurogamer for more videos about video games almost every single day. Now, I'm gonna go and continue making the chainmail necklace that I started yesterday in a fit of gay audacity, so I'll see you folks next time.